Chapter 7 Two Promises London, a year later, Dr. Manet's house. 12 more months had come and gone, and Mr. Charles Darnay was settled in England as a teacher of the French language who also knew something of French literature. As a teacher, he made his students' learning unusually pleasant and profitable, and as a translator, he brought an elegance that went beyond dictionary knowledge. As a result, Mr. Darnay soon became known and in demand. He was familiar, too, with what was happening in his father's country, and this was of ever-growing interest. So with much hard work, he began to do well. He had loved Lucy Manet from the hour of his danger. He had never heard a sound so sweet and dear as the sound of her voice. He had never seen a face so tenderly beautiful as hers when they had looked at each other in that courtroom, when he was on the edge of the grave that had been dug for him. But he hadn't yet spoken to her on the subject. The murder of his uncle far away across the stormy channel had been done a year, and he had never yet, by so much as a single spoken word, revealed to her the state of his heart. That he had his reasons he knew very well. It was again a summer day when, lately arrived in London from his work in Cambridge, he turned into the quiet corner in Soho, intending to find an opportunity of opening his mind to Dr. Manet. He knew that Lucy would be out with Miss Pross. He found the doctor reading in his armchair at a window. He was now a very energetic man, indeed, with great strength of purpose and action. In his newfound energy he was sometimes a little uncertain, as he had been at first when he recovered his mind and spirit. But this had never been frequently noticeable, and had grown more and more rare. When Charles Darnay entered, he put his book to one side and held out his hand. "Charles Darnay, I am so glad to see you. We have been expecting your return for the past 3 or 4 days. Mr. Stryver and Sydney Carton were both here yesterday, and both said you should have been here by now. I am grateful to them for their interest in the matter," he answered, a little coldly as to them, but very warmly as to the doctor, Miss Manet. "Is well," said the doctor, as he stopped short, "and your return will delight us all. She has gone out on some household matters, but will soon be home." "Dr. Manet, I knew she wasn't at home. I took the opportunity of her being away from home to ask to speak to you." There was a silence. "Yes," said the doctor, somewhat uncomfortably. "Bring your chair here and speak." He obeyed with regard to that chair, but found the speaking less easy. "I have had the happiness, Dr. Manet, of getting to know you well this past year and a half," he finally began. "I hope the subject on which I am about to speak may not—" "Is Lucy the subject?" "She is. It's hard for me to speak of her at any time. It's hard for me to hear her spoken of in that tone of yours, Charles Darnay." "It is a tone of great admiration and deep love, Dr. Manet," he said humbly. There was another long silence before her father replied. "I believe it. I really believe it." He seemed so uncomfortable that Charles Darnay hesitated. "Shall I go on, sir?" Another silence. "Yes, go on. You seem to know what I am going to say, but you can't know how truly I say it without knowing my secret heart and the hopes and fears that I have carried for so long. Dear Dr. Manet, I love your daughter. If ever there were love in the world, I love her. You have loved yourself. Let your old love speak for me." The doctor sat with his face turned away and his eyes looking down. At last he stretched out his hand and cried, "Not that, sir. Let that be. I beg of you. You don't remind me of that." His cry was so like a cry of pain that it rang in Charles Darnay's ears long after it had stopped. He made a movement with his hand, and it seemed to be asking Darnay to pause. He remained silent. "I ask your pardon," said the doctor quietly after some moments. "I don't doubt that you love Lucy." He turned towards him but didn't look at him or raise his eyes. His chin dropped upon his hand and his white hair fell over his face. "Have you spoken to Lucy?" "No." "Nor written?" "Never." It would be ungenerous not to recognize that you have done this out of consideration for her father. Her father thanks you." He offered his hand, but his eyes didn't go with it. "Dr. Manette," said Darnay respectfully, "I have seen you together from day to day, and I know that between you and Miss Manette there is an affection so unusual, so touching, that there can be few other examples in the world. Even in the tenderness between a father and child. I know, Dr. Manette, how can I fail to know, that together with the affection and duty of a daughter who has become a woman, there is in her heart towards you all the love and dependence of childhood itself. I know that as in her childhood she had no parent, she is now completely devoted to you with all the affection of her present years and character combined with the trust and attachment of her early days in which you were lost to her. I know that in loving you she sees and loves her mother at her own age, sees and loves you at my age, loves her mother broken-hearted, loves you through your terrible imprisonment and in your blessed restoration. I have known this night and day since I have known you in your home." Her father sat silent with his face bent down. His breathing was a little quickened, but he didn't show any other emotion. Dear Dr. Manette, always knowing this, always seeing her and you with this scared light around you, I have kept silent as long as it was in the nature of a man to do so. I have felt and still feel now that to bring my love, even mine, between you is to touch your history with something not quite as good as itself. But I love her. Heaven knows I love her. "I believe it," answered her father in a sad voice. "I have thought so before now. I believe it." "But don't believe," said Darnay, who heard the sad voice as reproach, "that if I were fortunate enough to one day make her wife, it would cause any separation between her and you." He touched Dr. Manet's hand. "Dear Dr. Manette, like you, I am an exile from France. Like you, I have been driven away from its oppressions and miseries. Like you, I am trying to make my living by my own efforts and trusting in a happier future. I only look to sharing your fortunes, sharing your life and home, and being faithful to you till death, not to divide Lucy's privilege as your child, companion, and friend, but to support it and make it closer, if such a thing can be." His hand was still touching her father's, answering the touch, but not coldly. Her father rested his arms upon the arms of his chair and looked up for the first time since the beginning of their conversation. A struggle was clearly seen on his face, a struggle that had a dark look of doubt and fear. "You speak with such feeling, Charles Darnay, that I thank you with all my heart and will open all my heart, or nearly so. Have you any reason to believe that Lucy loves you?" "None, as yet, none." "Is it your immediate object to find out with my help?" "Not so much as that. I might not have the hope for weeks. I might, mistaken or not mistaken, have that hope tomorrow. Are you looking for any help from me?" I ask none, sir, but I have thought it possible that you might have it in your power if you judge it right, to give me some. Are you looking for any promise from me? Yes, I am looking for that. What is it? I well understand that without you I could have no hope. I well understand that even if Miss Manet held me at this moment in her innocent heart, don't think I assume so much. I could hold no place in it against her love for her father. I understand equally well that a word from her father would outweigh herself and all the world. For which reason, Dr. Manet, said Darnay modestly but firmly, I wouldn't ask that word to save my life. I am sure of it, Charles Darnay. Mysteries arise out of close love, as well as out of wide division. In former case, they are delicate and difficult to understand. My daughter Lucy is, in this one thing, such a mystery to me. I can make no guess as to the state of her heart. May I ask, sir, if you think she is, as he hesitated, her father finished his question. If her hand is requested by any other person, it's what I meant to say. Her father thought for a little before he answered. You have seen Mr. Carton here yourself. Mr. Stryver is here too. Occasionally, if it be at all, it can only be by one of these. Or both? I hadn't thought of both. I should think neither likely. You want a promise from me. Tell me what it is. It is that if Miss Manet should bring to you at any time on her own part such a confidence as I have dared to lay before you, you will bear witness to what I have said and to your belief in it. I hope you may be able to think so well of me as not to say anything against me. I say nothing more. This is what I ask. I give you the promise, said the doctor, without any condition. I believe your object to be purely and truthfully as you have stated it. I believe your intention is to strengthen, not weaken, the ties between me and my other and far dearer self. If she should ever tell me that you were essential to her perfect happiness, I will give her to you. If there were Charles Darnay, if there were, the young man had taken his hand gratefully. Their hands were joined as the doctor spoke. Any reason, anything at all, new or old, against the man she really loved, the direct responsibility not lying on his head, they would all be wiped out for her sake. She is everything to me, more to me than suffering, more to me than wrong, more to me than, well, this is idle talk. So strange was the way he went silent, and so strange the staring look he had on his face when he stopped speaking, that Darnay felt his hand turn cold in the hand that slowly let his go and dropped it. You said something to me, said Dr. Manet, breaking into a smile. What was it you said to me? Darnay didn't know how to answer until he remembered having spoken of a condition. Relieved as his mind recalled that, he answered, Your confidence in me ought to be returned with a full confidence on my part. My present name, though slightly changed from my mother's, is not, as you well remember, my own. I wish to tell you what that is, and why I am in England. Stop, said the doctor of Beauvais. I wish it so that I may better deserve your confidence and have no secret from you. Stop. For an instant the doctor even had his two hands at his ears. For another instant he even had his two hands put to Darnay's lips. Tell me when I ask you, not now. If things go well, if Lucy should love you, you shall tell me on your marriage morning. Do you promise? Willingly. Give me your hand. She will be home in a few minutes, and it's better she shouldn't see us together tonight. Go. God bless you." It was dark when Charles Darnay left him, and it was an hour later and darker when Lucy and Miss Pross came home. Lucy hurried into the room alone, for Miss Pross had gone straight upstairs, and she was surprised to find her father's reading chair empty. "My father?" she called him. "Father, dear!" Nothing was said in answer, but she heard a low hammering sound in his bedroom. Passing lightly through a middle room, she looked in at his door and came running back frightened, crying to herself with her blood all chilled. "What shall I do? What shall I do?" Her uncertainty only lasted a moment. She hurried back and tapped at his door and softly called to him. The noise stopped at the sound of her voice, and he came out to her, and they walked up and down together for a long time. She came down from her bed to look at him in his sleep. That night he slept heavily, and his tray of shoemaking tools and his old unfinished work were all as usual. If Sydney Carton ever shone anywhere, it was certainly not in the house of Dr. Manette. He had been there often during a whole year, and had always been the same ill-humored person. When he felt like talking, he talked well, but the cloud of caring for nothing which overshadowed him very rarely allowed any light to show through. One day in August, when Mr. Stryver had left London for the country, Sydney Carton suddenly directed his steps to the doctor's door. He was shown upstairs and found Lucy at her work alone. She had never been completely at ease with him, and received him with some discomfort as he seated himself near her table, but looked up at his face as they exchanged their first few remarks. She observed a change in it. "I fear you're not well, Mr. Carton." "No, but the life I lead, Miss Manette, is not a healthy one. What is to be expected of or by people who are so careless and wasteful of their lives? It's not, forgive me, a pity to live no better life. God knows it's a shame. Then why not change it?" Looking gently at him, she was surprised and saddened to see that there were tears in his eyes. There were tears in his voice too, as he answered, "It's too late for that. I shall never be better than I am. I shall sink lower and be worse." He leaned his arm on the table and covered his eyes with his hand. The table trembled in the silence that followed. She had never seen him softened and was greatly upset. He knew that she was without looking at her, and said, "Forgive me, Miss Manette. I broke down because of what I want to say to you. Will you hear me?" "If it will do you any good, Mr. Carton, if it would make you happier, it would make me very glad." "God bless you for your sweet sympathy. Don't be afraid to hear me. I am like one who died young. All my life might have been." "No, Mr. Carton, I am sure that the best part of it might still be. I am sure that you might be much, much worthier of yourself. Say of you, Miss Manette, and although I know better, although in my wretched heart I know better, I shall never forget it." She was pale and trembling. If it had been possible, Miss Manette, that he could have returned the love of the man you see before you, lost, wasted, a poor creature misused as you know him to be, he would have known this day and hour, despite his happiness, that he would bring you to misery, bring you to sorrow and repentance, pull you down with him. "I know very well that you can have no tenderness for me. I ask for none. I am even thankful that it can't be. Without it, can I not save you, Mr. Carton? Can I not recall you? Forgive me again to a better course? He shook his head. I only ask you to listen to me a little more. All you can ever do for me is done. I wish you to know that you have been the last dream of my soul. In the low state to which I have sunk, it hasn't been so low that I couldn't be reminded of my former self. When I see you and your father together and this home made a home by you, I have had ideas of trying again, beginning anew. A dream, all a dream, but I wish you to know that it was thanks to you. Will nothing of it remain? Oh, Mr. Carton, think again, try again. No, Miss Manette, in an hour or two, the low companions and low habits that I hate but cannot give up will make me worse than the poorest creature that creeps along the streets. But take comfort within myself. I shall always be towards you. What I am now, though from the outside I shall be how you have seen me until now. My last request is that you will believe this of me. I will, Mr. Carton. My last request of all is this, and then I will leave. It's useless to say it, I know, but it rises out of my soul. For you and my dear to you, I would do anything. If my career were of that better kind, that there was any opportunity or capacity for sacrifice in it, I would accept any sacrifice for you and those dear to you. Try to hold me in your mind at some quiet times as sincere in one thing. The time will come. The time will not be long in coming, when new ties will be formed about you, ties that will bind you more tenderly and strongly to your home. Oh, Miss Manette, when the little picture of a happy father's face look up in yours, when you see your own bright beauty springing up and you at your feet, think now and then that there is a man who would give you life to keep alive you love beside you. He said, farewell, said a last God bless you, and left her.